Eating is something that we do on a daily basis. So, a witch or warlock who is looking to perform baneful or harmful magic, especially binding spells, will target a person's food and eating habits. Because food and water is perhaps the only thing we can't go too long without having. So, the witch or warlock will curse someone's food and eating habits in order to have continual access, influence, and domination over them and their energy. Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimmy, your sage, your mystic, your guru, and your spiritual informant. And today we are discussing the mystery behind the magic of how spell work and curses are sent through and attached to food. There are many ways to attach curses to food. And perhaps the most important thing you need to know about this type of magic is that the person cursing the food does not have to be physically present to do so. Neither do they have to be the one who prepares the food for you. Of course, someone's food can be cursed if it is prepared in a bewitched manner. For instance, a witch or warlock uses ingredients like roots, powders, hair, and or bodily fluids in the preparation of the food. But even if they did not prepare the food, a person's food could still be cursed just by having a meal in the presence of a witch or warlock. As you eat, the witch or warlock can silently perform incantations over your food or send psychic and telepathic attacks while you eat. So it'd essentially be a situation where as you are physically eating the food, you are also eating the psychic and telepathic attacks that they are sending to you. The same way that we have the power to imbue positive energy and blessings over our food through prayer, a sorcerer can imbue your food with negative energy by thinking negatively and sending negative visualizations, aka psychic attack, to you and your food as you eat. Eating in dreams is another way that your food and eating habits can be cursed without physically being in the presence of a witch or warlock. The sorcerer will essentially do spell work on you as you sleep, which very usually will involve attaching a spirit to you, and that spirit will then perform the task of feeding you in your dream state as you sleep. Eating in the dream is symbolic of entering into covenant with spirits. So if a sorcerer attaches a spirit to you, eating what that spirit has fed you is an act of coming into union with that spirit and what it is contracted to do. If you regularly have dreams of eating, it is very important to first meditate and pray for discernment as to what exactly the spirit is trying to feed you, so that when you go through the process of canceling out and rebuking dreams and returning spell work to senders, then you will know exactly and precisely what it is you are returning, so that you are able to say detailed and precise prayers to cancel out the spell work sent to you. And this is very important because when you are eating in the dream, you are dealing in the energy of illusion, because what you are eating in the dream is not necessarily what is actually being fed to you. The food is really an illusion to cover up what you are really eating, and what you are really eating is energies and spirits and spell work. So a spirit will essentially feed the person things like the energy of death, the energy of sickness, the energy of poverty, the energy of delay and stagnation, and etc. I talked in a video I did a few months back about how a witch sent the spirit of gluttony to me in the night. And so when I am saying that a spirit is attached to you, this will usually be the spirit of gluttony, because the spirit of gluttony rules over all excess. It rules over lust, and this could be lust for food, lust for people. And so this is why very usually if you have dreams of eating, you may also have dreams of sexual violations as well, because all of this is under the umbrella of the spirit of excess, aka the spirit of gluttony. And so as a result of having this spirit sent to me, I would constantly dream of rooms and rooms full of food, particularly unhealthy food, and particularly meats and sweets. I'd have dreams of eating uncontrollably, like even when I knew very clearly in the dream that I shouldn't be eating, I could not stop. And then for days after those dreams, I'd struggle with excessive cravings and feeling super duper hungry. And whenever I was not actively fulfilling those cravings, I would feel extremely agitated. And so I had to begin to separate cravings from hunger, because having cravings does not necessarily signify that you are hungry. It simply means that you may have a desire to eat, but not a necessity to eat. And so having the spirit of gluttony or the spirit of excess sent to you may mean that you will experience having a larger appetite or craving for things. You may feel more called to indulge excessively, and this can be indulgence in anything: food, sex, partying, drinking, etc. And so it was very important for me to draw boundaries with these cravings, because we have to understand that often it is not us who is craving the thing, it is the spirit who is triggering you to crave those things. And so whenever you give into this spirit of excess, you give into the spirit of gluttony, you are essentially deepening the covenant and the contract and the hold that it has over your life. And so as we go deeper into covenant with these types of spirits, they essentially have more power, more influence, more control and domination over our thoughts, our emotions, our habits. Many people think gluttony is only the process of overeating, but it is also the process of eating only for the flesh and not for the spirit. So let's say technically you don't have an issue with overeating, but you don't eat for nutrition either. You eat what tastes good. You will eat something that tastes good even though it has no nutritional value. You could eat only once a day, but that one thing that you eat may be very, very delicious, but is detrimental to your spiritual and your physical health. That is also gluttony, because gluttony is about indulgence. So food and eating habits is so heavily targeted by witchcraft because what we put into our bodies has a serious impact on our spiritual ability to fight off witchcraft, combat spiritual parasites like the spirit of gluttony, and what we eat also has a direct impact on our ability to receive light code energies, aka spiritual upgrades and spiritual gifts from the divine source. So for people who are unfamiliar with my story, I activated a whole host of spiritual gifts aligned with my destiny and cleansed years worth of witchcraft attack from my aura by doing a 10-day fresh pressed juice fast. I was guided to do this fast by my spiritual team, and I came out of it spiritually lighter. My psychic abilities came online. I figured out I could do Reiki and so much more. And so I am sharing this video today because there is a very powerful 11/11 portal happening tomorrow. So my spirit team told me again, I needed to prepare to do a fast in order to cleanse my spiritual body and make room for the energetic light codes and spiritual activations that are going to be coming through to us as a result of this 11/11 portal. I am therefore inviting everyone who feels called to join me on a 3 to 5 day fast in whatever way you feel most comfortable with. You may feel called to do 3 to 5 days of no meat. You may feel called to do 3 to 5 days of only juice. You may feel called to do 3 to 5 days of only fruit or fresh vegetables, whatever it looks like for you, because your fast may not look like my fast. I am doing a 5-day liquids only fast. I am incorporating fresh pressed juice, which means this is not juices from concentrate. This is not juices that have added sugar. This is juice that comes directly from the fruit and directly from a juicer. If you need to know whether your juice is fresh pressed, look for it on the bottle and look for it in the cold section, because any juice that is not in a cold section is going to have preservatives and is going to be from concentrate. I am also on this liquids only fast incorporating spring water, coconut water, and herbal teas to keep my blood sugar in check. Members of the Patreon, and this includes free members. And so if you are signed up for the free membership, you will also have access to these juicing recipes, juicing instructions, and juicing tips. For those who are a part of the paid tier, you will have access to the group chat support so that we can all connect to stay grounded and committed on the fasting journey. And you will have direct one-on-one counsel from me during this time. I will most likely also be leading us in guided meditation. So this is going to be a very invigorating and transformative time to join me on this fast. So if you would like to join us on Patreon as a free member or as a paid member, there will be a link for that in the comments. If you need a reading about any situation in your life, I would be honored to tap in with your spirit team. and bring any guidance and clarity that I can to assist you in your situation. Peace and blessings to everybody, and happy fasting to all who will be joining us during this 3 to 5 days. Selah, beautiful people.